Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, how y'all motherfuckers doing today? Good? Yeah, that's good to hear. How you going, guys? So what are we talking about today? Well, as the title explains, we're going to be talking about moving house, and more specifically, moving interstate. Now, for me, I've moved interstate 4 times. 4 times. 2 of which I remember very specifically. The other 2, I was just a baby, so I can't really divulge on how Goo Goo Gaga can calibrate into an experience of moving interstate. But I've moved interstate when I was 18 and 18 bordering 19, and even younger when I was I was in year 7, so I must have been 13, 14 years old. So I've moved interstate twice. Now, of those 2 times, I can definitely say both of them were very different from one another. So the move interstate when I was in year 7, 13, 14 years old was probably the more traumatic move that I've experienced. When I was at that age, I was in year 7, I was finally coming to terms with where I was socially. I was discovering myself. I was a happy little kid. I was swimming, had a decent group of friends, I was a kind of class clown type. And when I moved, all of that kind of changed. It kind of changed my personality, for the better, for the worse. I can't really decide. But what was the experience? I was living in country Victoria in a little town called Kilmore, in between Ballarat, Shepparton and Epping, something like that. And I was a little country kid. That's where I grew up and spent most of my primary school life, and it was awesome. It was an awesome little town. Everyone kind of knew one another. I was part of a baseball team there, had some really close mates, and it was awesome. I loved it. So year 7 comes round, my dad got a promotion, and now we're moving to New South Wales. And I was kind of in shock. I mean, I was going to be 1,000 k's from my friends, and that at a fucking 13, 14-year-old is a big fucking change. Like, your whole world gets turned upside down. So, what was the move like? It was alright from my side of things. Mum and Dad just told me to pack up my room, get my shit together. We had a farewell party for the family at the park. About 50 people showed up. So, more onto my experience. The move was hard for me. I'm not gonna lie, it really fucking sucked. I'd say for the first 2 weeks, I really didn't trust anyone. I trusted absolutely no one that was at my new school. But yeah, finding those first groups of friends, finding that new social hierarchy and discovering where you lied in a new school was kind of scary and terrifying, to say the least. But I found my way. I found a nice little group of Asian guys. We were the really nerdy group. We liked playing video games and talking about this website called YouTube and finding all these viral videos, Sneezing Panda, and that's how we kind of formed our bond. And then I later found my main group, which was more the weirder group. We were fucking we were the skateboarders and all that. But the first move, it was traumatizing to say the least. And if you're watching this and you're worried about the interstate move, I just want to get this one message across to you. Change is never a bad thing. Change is never a bad thing. Embrace it. See what it's like. You want to be able to get out of your comfort zone, and you want to become a greater individual with a better experience of life. Enjoy more things if you move interstate, not to mention the new things that you'll see, new people you'll get to meet, and everyone around that. So I'll dive into what happened to me, how I was. For about 6 months, I was incredibly depressed as a young kid. I was incredibly depressed. All I wanted to do was move back to Victoria. That's where all my friends were. That's where all my buddies were. My sports that I loved to play. I wanted to be back in Victoria. Plain and simple. About 9 months after, it all kind of divulged into me breaking down in class, crying in a classroom where we were handing in an assignment talking about our friends and family. And for me, I just broke down. The feeling of loneliness and isolation kind of just engulfed me, and all I wanted to do was see my friends again. All I wanted to do was laugh with them again for 10 minutes, for 5 seconds, just to see their face, to know the stories and experiences that we have been through, and they weren't there. So after I broke down in class, crying my eyes out, I was sent to my year administrator's office, and we had a chat. Now obviously he got in contact with my parents, and I think about, 3 or 4 weeks later, when school holidays came around, I was going down to Victoria by myself as a 14-year-old, and that was fucking awesome. I got on a plane by myself. I had my headphones in, and my nan was in Victoria ready to pick me up. Went out, hang around with my friends, and there was a couple of things that I experienced, like the roads back in Kilmore were so fucking big. Like, after moving to New South Wales, I was so used to all these tiny roads and everyone kind of hustling and bustling around, trying to get everywhere. And to go back there, everything was so slowed down, everything was really relaxed, and it was awesome. So I went back there, and I came back to New South Wales with a new appreciation for what I had. I was closer to cinemas, I was closer to a lot of things that were never part of my life as a primary school student. And that's kind of when I got out of this fog of depression and kind of opened my eyes to what I was actually involved in. I got into swimming, I met a lot of friends there, and it was really, really cool. So, my more recent move interstate, I was 19 years old. No, I was 18 years old because I had my birthday up here. That move was a lot different from my first move. I was living with a bunch of roommates, and they were all stoners, and I in turn was a stoner. I was injecting the marijuana straight into my bloodstream. No, I was a stoner. Plain and simple. If you guys want to hear some stoner stories that I think are the funniest fucking things in the world, please write in the comment section, and I can tell you a couple stories of what happened and the side effects of marijuana and extended use of marijuana. So my move from New South Wales to Queensland was a lot different. My dad was recently told he was no longer needed at a company and that he would be losing his job. The only job available was in Queensland, and we got on that shit pretty much. I want to say about a month after Dad was told that he was made redundant, Mum and Dad, it was just Mum and Dad moved up to Queensland. Me and my sister stayed in a share house, with a couple of roommates. Now my sister, God love her soul, never touched the weed. We were a household of stoners and smokers. And my parents knew, I knew what I was getting into, but the reason I stayed along in New South Wales was because... Oh, hold up guys, fucking itchy! The reason I stayed in New South Wales was because I needed to complete my apprenticeship. I had 6 months left, and I thought, I'll stay here for 6 months, I'll bite the bullet, I'll work my ass off and get this paperwork all sorted, and then I can be fully qualified, which is a big fucking deal to me. So, I stayed there for 6 months. My sister wanted to stay there because... What the fuck are you doing, mate? Yeah, just stand in the fucking road. Shorty shots. My sister wanted to stay in New South Wales simply because she did not want to move interstate again. The last move from Victoria to New South Wales really sent her through a loop. So the second move interstate was my decision. It was my time. I got my paperwork. I didn't really feel quite the same for being a stoner for so long. I felt my body was changing a bit. It wasn't quite itself. I was constantly hacking up crap, and I wanted to be back at home where I could save my cash. That was my decision to move up here. I found a job reasonably quickly. I had a 2-week holiday in between. That was nice, just kind of relax and chill out for a bit. But I gotta say, the differences between states is like night and day. Queensland is incredibly more slowed down, chilled out than either Melbourne or Sydney. It is amazing, to say the least, because I'm a chilled out kind of guy. I don't need the city hustle and bustle to inspire me to do shit, and coffee shops and shit like that I just have no interest in. I'm more of a country kid. So if you're moving interstate, there are a few things I want to say. Don't be worried. You will find friends. It may not be the same friends that you are friends with at the moment, but they will be there for you. You'll have a new support group. And if you don't, I hope you find one soon. The one thing I love about moving house is picking your rooms. That's my favorite thing in the entire world. You get to move to a new house, you get to pick your rooms, you get to decorate it the way you want to, paint it the way if your parents allow you. You can paint whatever color you want it, setting up all your things, your TV, your computer, your laptop, your desk, reorganizing everything. That is like, oh, I just love doing that shit. It is so much fun. So don't feel alone, don't feel neglected. You will find a support group around you. You will find a new bunch of friends. And I know it's kind of condescending, or it's weird to take advice from some stranger that's just riding a motorcycle out in fucking Brisbane. But understand that I have been through your same situation. And if you're nervous, leave a comment. If you're worried about something that's going on at the moment, leave a comment. I want to talk to you guys. I love talking to you guys in the comment section. So guys, I think I will leave it there. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. And I shall end this video. So guys, do all the bullshit that you want to do. Like, share, favorite, subscribe. Social media bullshit. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Okay? Okay. Sounds good. Alright. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Hopefully it's gonna get better, though undeniably optimistic.